Next, and next thing is write mode. We did some program. Hello, how are you? And close. Next, append mode. We did some program. And X mode. What is the importance of X mode? Means X mode will check the directory. If the file is present in the present working directory, it will not kill that file. Actually, it will not wipe out that file. It will raise an error and stop, tell the user that already file is there, you take another name, like that it will tell. So that in the present, if there is any file that with the same name, that will be saved, so that it will not spoil the file with the same name. That is the advantage of using X mode. Okay. Next, we just did some program yesterday, convert how to convert this and that. Okay. Okay. Now let us go with now we smoothly go with today. Let us start something new. Okay. So it is called exception handling in Python. So let us go through exception handling in Python. So right. First, before going any code or anything, what is exception? Exception means is runtime exception means it is a runtime error. It is a runtime error. Okay, is it clear? It is a runtime error, and it will create it is a runtime. During the runtime, if any error occurs, it will handle. Okay, exception management is very important. Exception management is very important. Exception is managed. Managed means program runs smoothly till end. So it is like you are going on a long drive. If you don't keep a spare tire, your journey will not continue. Okay. If you keep a spare tire, if something happens to tires of your vehicle, then spare tire will save you. It is like exception handling is like that. It is having a spare tire so that your journey can continue. So during the execution of a program, if any error occurs, if the error is managed, then the program execution continues smoothly. Like if a person is dividing anything by zero, division by zero exception occurs. So then it is handled properly, then the program goes smoothly. Let us take an example. So in Python also, we have a try block. X is equal to b by 0. Except. So exception is handled by except. Print division by 0 and going smooth. Going smooth. Reach destination. Destination. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి. So some exception happened. So if like x is equal to 10, p is equal to 2, p is equal to 5. So here actually we did not divided by 0, then the exception did not raise, so it is going smooth and reached destination. Okay, now if you are dividing it by 0, then what will happen? So like that, division by 0 happened. If you divide by 0, then exception will rise. If you don't divide by 0, exception will not rise. So like that. So try block is a block of code. We monitor for any errors are going to occur. Then it is handled by exception. If it is handled properly, then the last statement will execute. Otherwise, if it is not handled properly, program aborts its execution in the middle, means in the line number 8 only, that will stop, that will die. Like if a corona patient is not given oxygen properly, then he will die in the middle. If you have oxygen supplied properly, then he will come till the end, like that. Oxygen supply is very, very important for corona patient. As you know, because of the oxygen, so many news in the media, so many people died because of the lack of oxygen supply, lack of oxygen cylinders. Okay, so in government hospitals that is happening. So if it is managed properly, then you will reach the destination, like that. The program also, if you manage the errors, it will come till the end. So that is why exception handling is error management in the program. This is the clear cut thing in the Python. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, this is a try except. Okay, next okay. Next something called you can put as many except blocks as your wish. So each error will be handled differently. We can have one more block called finally. So whenever something happens or something happens, this thing must be done in the finally. Finally, you should do this. Finally. Okay, print. I will be executed always. I will be there always. So whatever the thing, so I will be there always. You see, it will come every time. Whether the if it is division by 0 happened or not. So I will make it b by 2. So this finally block, every time it will execute. Finally block, it will execute every time. I will be there always. So if it is division by 0 is not happening also, the finally block will be there. Finally block, every time it will be there. So please remember that finally block is very, very, very important. So very like it will execute finally. Like finally you do this. Finally this must be done. So after your dinner is over, finally you have some special snack, something like that, or eat some jeera or something to digest something. So you eat that jeera to digest your food properly, or something the elders will give you finally. So like that, something finally it has to be done. That must be done at finally, because sometimes in a program you need to free the memory, whichever it is allocated for some blocks or something happened. So you'll go with finally. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear, dear students? I think it is clear for you. So please understand try block. And a try block is a block of code for monitoring errors. I will just write here block of code to be monitored for errors. Monitored for errors, because you see some areas police will monitor always, because there may be chances of something, some antisocial elements are going to come, or something is going to come, like railway stations, like railway stations and all, bus stands, and that all that places where huge crowd is going and coming, they will monitor that area. Why? Because so many problems may occur, antisocial elements may be there, like that police will monitor always that area. That is called a try block. Except what will, if that is monitored, something happened, what has to do, except block will be there, and finally do this, like that. So this is the mechanism basically for exception handling. Means any error occurs, then only this mechanism. Error do not occurs, no need of this mechanism. Actually there is no chance of occurring any error, don't put this, no need. 100% you are sure that there is no chance of occurring any errors, then no need of this mechanism. When there is error occurs, some situations, some programs, you will feel that these areas, as a programmer, these areas there is a chance of error occurring, and you want to handle it so that the program continues execution with other parts of the program. Like 1000 lines of program is there, in first 50 lines there is a chance of occurring errors. If you handle them properly, then it goes to execution of 950 lines of next code. So some programs execution is very, very important, because if your program execution stops, something is very dangerous. When you are writing code for some sensitive things like medical devices or somewhere, if you are writing code for some war, the devices that are used in war, for example, if you are writing code for embedded devices, then the problem is very panic, because some situations are very panic. This software is not only used for writing calculations and all, different areas they will use this properly, but So embedded devices, if you are writing code for sensors and somewhere else some complication things, the monitoring, the handling of errors is very, very essential. Error management is very, very vital and important. That is known as exception. Exception means runtime error. Runtime error management is done in Python. Python it is done. Java it is there. Python, Java, both the languages have this runtime error management. Okay, runtime error management is done in these languages. So this is the brief overview, briefly about runtime error management. So like this it will be. So please have a have in the memory. So okay, so it is like that. So for example, if you are going to one more the situation is that if you are if you want to create a file and write something into that, but that file is not created, you don't know that file is created or not, error is occurred or not, you don't know, you are not monitoring that block. So then there is a problem. If you monitor that block and write an exception for that, and then a user immediately knows that that file is not created, nothing is written into that, then there is a problem. For example, a person is withdrawing some for example 50,000 from the his account. If that must be stored and that must be saved in somewhere, if the saving is not done, then his balance will be same as it is after withdrawing the money also. That is a very big issue for the bank. So if so many people are doing like that, bank will be it will incur huge losses. That is a very dangerous thing. So it must be saved properly. So that's where the code will be immediately raise an error if the code is not executing properly, something is not done properly. Then that block of code is monitored for errors, and error is occurred or happened. For different reasons, errors will occur. For different for memory management issues, for many issues, errors will occur. They must be managed properly. The errors occurring statements will be kept in the try block. So and except block is a block where we will give a solution to that block. One try block can have many except blocks, but at least one except block must be attached to try block. Because what is the reason if you don't attach a except block to the try block, then why you are trying? So whenever you try a block, that must be except block must be attached. And finally, if except block is not there, at least finally should be there. So like that it will be. So it is a simple error management in Python. Okay. So like that it will be. Uh, mm, so we'll continue this error management remaining part tomorrow. Okay. I'll stop the recording.